I think it does. In Turkey, we love hugs and kisses to people we like and appreciate. Even men greet each other with a good old hug that goes too long for some cultures. But when it comes to the spicy stuff, like having a partner, even holding hands is considered a huge deal. We definitely are a bit awkward when it comes to sexual stuff, even the married couples. We also look down upon people who have a lot of one-night stands rather than a steady relationship, be it a boy or girl. We just prefer to have a long-term relationship than sleeping with a bunch of people. I guess it also affects my views on things as well, and you can probably imagine my shock when I came here and all the sexual relations and talks were open.
Western society enforces this idea that physical intimacy is solely for romantic relationships and often leaves me feeling confused about the lines between platonic and romantic.
It's difficult for male-coded individuals to come out as bi or non-binary. University life has made it much easier to escape the toxic masculinity that is so present elsewhere. I am always concerned when people quiz me about my love life, because I've never had a male partner, so I don't appear bi. I know that some people would just say I'm straight and looking for attention.
We don't talk about love or sex in my family, but this has made me a lot more open with my godchildren and talking to them about feelings.
Yes, I often feel like the pressure to be heterosexual, denying any gay thoughts, can be stifling. In my culture, love manifests through marriage, not dating.
Yes, pop culture teaches us that it's all perfect in the end and you maintain that constantly in love feeling. Of course, these feelings of initial love and lust can diminish, but I don't think that means a relationship should die. You evolve and grow together. Movies and TV shows more recently taught me it's okay to be gay. Not that I ever had a huge problem myself, but realizing that you don't have to change yourself for the benefit of others is important.
If anything, my relationship with sexuality and love has come from a place of conflicted culture, and I find that kind of poetic and sweet.
I think my culture's influence on how I perceive sexuality and love is so deep that I can't even begin to fathom or explain how it's affected me. There's far too much intricacy to be able to make one easily explained, cohesive point without the need for thousands of clarifying statements.
I come from an Irish Catholic family, which has often made viewing my sexuality and love life positively a challenge.
I know I'm lucky as a heterosexual, but I do think our culture encourages a sense of urgency and anticipation to any kind of sexuality and love. I've been a lot happier since focusing on myself before rushing into anything else.
I feel my culture has affected my current relationship simply because we are interracial and from different countries. I suppose being Canadian has made me more sexually liberal?
I believe so. Being a man and showing any form of happy emotions in the UK is almost considered having a weakness, and I believe it's affected my relationship due to long-distance relationships being considered not a real relationship.
Somewhat, yeah, but not necessarily with just romantic relationships. Growing up in Sweden, I am very comfortable with nudity, even among casual friends of the opposite sex. British people are generally very particular about nudity, but I haven't changed my behaviour much because of it. I'm not ever inappropriately nude, but my friends have just learned that me changing my trousers or taking my bra off in front of male company is just not a big deal.
Yes, repressive Irish Catholic.
Being a former soldier, the culture was very male-dominated, and those who were different were marginalised. As a teenager of the 80s, sexuality was at the forefront, with men wearing makeup and the gay scene exploding, which opened up different possibilities.
Somewhat, yes. As a Catholic girl from a small rural town, being anything other than feminine and heterosexual wasn't heard of. It wasn't until I went to secondary school in Belfast that I figured out my place.
Yes, for sure. My parents are religious. If I didn't have a religious father, I would have explored my sexuality more.
There are certain expectations of white straight males, but that's a given. Males are supposed to be a certain way in love and sex.
All my mates are lads, so I was shamed for such in my entire secondary school life. This also made me feel embarrassed for engaging in any sexual activity as everyone was calling me a slut already. It made me appreciate the love and protection that comes with friendship. However, things get complicated when feelings are caught. When people see a girl and a guy hanging out, they assume they're together in some capacity. All of this, amongst other stuff, has made me build some pretty massive mental walls when it comes to relationships.
I think I'm less inclined to have sex early on because sex is such a taboo here in America, especially amongst religious Black American communities like my family.